At 11:47 on a Tuesday morning, Sarah stared at an email she had read 3 times. She wasn't sure if she was reading it correctly. The subject line was simple: "Congratulations." Months earlier, she had been sitting at her kitchen table wondering how she could ever afford a master's degree in the United Kingdom. Tuition alone seemed impossible. Add rent, flights, and everyday living costs, and her dream felt completely out of reach. Now, that single email was about to change the course of her life. Within a few months, she would be boarding a flight to the UK. Not because she had suddenly become wealthy, but because she had been awarded one of the world's most prestigious fully funded scholarships. That scholarship is called Chevening. And here's the surprising part. Sarah wasn't selected because she had perfect grades. In fact, that's one of the biggest myths about Chevening. Stay with me, because before this video ends, you'll understand what the selection panel is really looking for, and it might completely change the way you prepare your application. Imagine this. You find the perfect university. You discover the exact master's program you've always wanted. Then you see the tuition fee. £20,000, maybe £30,000. Then you remember you'll also need accommodation, food, transport, books, and a plane ticket. For many people, that's where the dream ends. But every year, hundreds of students discover another path. Instead of asking, "How will I pay for this?" they ask, "How do I earn a Chevening Scholarship?" That question has changed thousands of lives across the world. And it could change yours too. Chevening is the United Kingdom government's global scholarship program, funded by the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office together with partner organizations. Since 1983, it has helped more than 60,000 professionals from around the world study at leading UK universities. But here's where many applicants misunderstand the program. Chevening isn't searching for the smartest person in the room. It's searching for people who will go on to make a difference. Think about that for a moment. The scholarship isn't simply investing in your education. It's investing in your future influence. That changes everything about how you should approach your application. Let's go back to Sarah. When she opened that email, she wasn't just receiving financial support. She was receiving freedom. Freedom from tuition fees. Freedom from worrying about monthly rent. Freedom from wondering how she'd pay for flights. Successful Chevening scholars generally receive full tuition fees, a monthly living allowance, return economy airfare, a visa application support, arrival and departure allowances. Some scholars may also receive additional funding for eligible academic travel or program-related expenses. For many recipients, this means they can focus on learning, building relationships, and making the most of their year in the UK instead of constantly worrying about money. Now here's the twist. Even with all those benefits, thousands of applicants are rejected every year. Why? Let's talk about the biggest mistake. Picture 2 applicants. Both have excellent grades. Both graduated from respected universities. Both have years of professional experience. One receives the scholarship, the other doesn't. Why? Because Chevening isn't only reading your resume, it's reading your story. The selection panel wants evidence that you've already started making a difference. Maybe you've led a project at work, created a business, organized a community program, mentored young professionals, solved an important problem. Leadership doesn't always begin with a job title. Sometimes it begins with one decision to improve the lives of people around you. That's exactly the kind of evidence Chevening wants to see. At this point, you might be wondering, am I even eligible? Generally, applicants must be citizens of a Chevening-eligible country, hold an undergraduate degree that qualifies them for admission to a UK master's program, have at least 2 years of work experience, equivalent to around 2,800 hours, and agree to return to their home country for at least 2 years after completing the scholarship. Here's something many people find surprising. There is no upper age limit. Whether you've recently graduated or have spent years building your career, Chevening is looking for potential, not perfection. The strongest applications answer questions that many people never ask themselves. Why this course? Why this university? What problem are you trying to solve? How will this degree help your country? What will your career look like 5 years after graduation? Winning applicants connect every part of their application into one clear story. Their past explains their present supports their future, and their future creates value for others. That's the difference between an application that gets noticed and one that's forgotten. Remember the surprising requirement I mentioned at the beginning? Here it is. After completing the program, Chevening scholars are expected to return to their home country for at least 2 years. At first, some applicants see this as a limitation, but Chevening sees it differently. The program believes real success isn't measured by where you study. It's measured by what you do with that education afterwards. The goal is simple. Develop future leaders who will return home equipped to create positive change. Let's return to Sarah. That email didn't magically make her successful. It simply opened a door. The real journey began when she stepped onto that plane, studied alongside people from every corner of the world, built lifelong friendships, and returned home with new knowledge, greater confidence, and a global network. Thousands of people will apply for Chevening. Only a fraction will receive that life-changing email. The difference often isn't intelligence. It's preparation. It's clarity. It's leadership. And it's having a vision that's bigger than yourself. One day, another applicant will open an email that begins with one simple word: congratulations. The question is, could that applicant be you? If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more scholarship opportunities, study abroad updates, and immigration news from the UK, Canada, and beyond. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.